What's up, everybody? I'm back for another PG Sports podcast. Our special guest today is Steve Armato. We're going to be answering social media questions, marketing questions, all that good stuff. Tell us how he got started. Live with Steve. What's up, Dim? What's up, Inside Sports Marketing? Let me spell Steve's name right, so let's see. Armato. I got a hoe. No. Feel free to ask any questions. Dim, you got a question? I got a whole lot of money. Damn. Hey, what's up?
What's up, man? How you doing?
You know, just quarantining.
Yeah, that's really what you can do right now. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
so how's the work been for you?
I mean, it's been up and down. Just gotta keep grinding with everything that's going on right now. There's not there's nothing you can do you just gotta keep pushing. You gotta push different things, try different things, and that's all you can do.
Yeah,
So,
for sure. Have you been going back in the archives and just like making random stuff, like with old content? I've been thinking about doing it.
Do that. Occasionally, I do that. I mean, I can't. You got to pay the bills first, so clients I got to focus there first. But you guys have been seeing. I've been making marketing videos that I'm putting like snippets on IGTV, and then the full ones are on YouTube. Trying to build that and give people free advice on what they can do right now.
Yeah, I feel you on that. Yeah, I mean, what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, how's the podcast and everything been going?
Oh yeah, so I mean that's been thriving because now no one could say no, basically.
Right.
So I mean it's a good thing. I've been doing more Zoom interviews too, so now I'm incorporating video. So I don't think I can go back now.
Say that again.
I was saying I don't think I can go back now to just audio.
No, you got to keep the video going.
Yeah.
Then you have more then you have more content to push out. You have video content and the audio content, so it works together.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's crazy because now, but I think I might. But when it goes back to regular life, I think it might be harder to get the people because then they might say no because it's a video.
Maybe, but yeah. I wouldn't assume right away. I mean, yeah. I think you always got to ask that question.
Yeah, I'll ask the video first, and then if they say no, then I'll be like, all right, could you just do it over the phone or whatever?
Right, exactly. Are you putting those up on YouTube? What are you doing with those?
Just in general, everything.
Yeah, like are you putting those Zoom calls up on YouTube too, or you just do recording the podcast and then?
Yeah, I'm putting them everywhere. I was putting even the audio versions of the podcast also on YouTube.
Okay, that's
because some people just find I wasn't really promoting the YouTube, but then there has been some that just got picked up because it's on YouTube and they're searching that person's name, so it works out. Right. But yeah, now with the video aspect, I'm going to be promoting the YouTube channel a lot more, and I mean I've been ripping these every day and just throwing them up on YouTube, and they've been getting some views, some traction just from. I mean, so they'll be pretty interesting to see if the video ones will get more views, which I think they will in the long run.
Yeah, definitely. It takes time to build that. Like, I mean, it takes at least a good 3 months before you start coming up with in the searches like constantly. So it's good.
Yeah. I mean, this is why I don't know if you heard me on my other ones. So I named this I just named this a podcast, even though it's not technically, I guess you'd say it's a podcast, so who knows what a podcast is. But I named it PG Sports Podcast, so somebody else made a PG Sports Podcast, and I'm not happy about it.
I mean, that's not cool, man. But you can figure that out. There's ways around that.
I already beat them in all the things now. Once I started this out, because I think I already have like more episodes than them now.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Thanks.
I mean, you're doing one of these. You're doing one of these a day for however many weeks, right?
Yeah, I'm on. This is like 27, I think.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Just keep pushing it out, man. That's it.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. How did you? Let's go into before we do like questions and stuff like that. Like the marketing questions. How did you get started?
How did I get started? So pretty much I got started after college working for free, really. So I was doing the video stuff for free. And as I started working with people and working for people, I realized that you could always turn anything into a business. And that's how it started. And just, I got some jobs in the corporate world, but that was never really as fulfilling as doing stuff for myself. And I really love the idea of freedom. So I got started basically making short videos with athletes. I did a bunch of stuff for free where I knew a trainer down in Jersey, and he had a bunch of NFL guys. And I went over there and started doing stuff for their social media channels, and it was just exposure for me. It was experience for me. And after that, it kind of just started rolling and snowballing, and that's where I'm at now.
Yeah, what is it? One of your first videos with John Murphy?
That was like that. So it started with Troy Scribner from Sacred Heart, and then it went to John Murphy, and the John Murphy video got a lot of exposure, and that's how my friend who had the physical therapy and training place reached out to me to start doing videos on his NFL guys. Yeah,
and didn't you play baseball at Sacred Heart?
I did.
Nobody really knows, right?
Nobody really knows. I didn't play. I was on the team after my freshman year. I didn't play a ton, but nobody really. It's not something we really go into. Talk about it,
Hey, throw it up on the resume.
What's up?
Throw it up on the resume. D1 athlete.
I don't throw the D1 athlete on the resume much, but it's there. It's good. It's not a selling point for people, but it's good.
Yeah. What years were you at Sacred Heart?
I was there from 2007 to 2011.
Okay, yeah. So when was I there? Yeah. So you were a senior when I was a freshman, I think.
Yeah. So we like kind of overlapped.
Yeah.
For a year. So
what? Yeah. What were your What was your degree in?
Media studies.
Okay, so you knew you wanted to do something like this.
Yeah, I knew I wanted to do something in media. I knew I wanted to make videos. I didn't really know where it took me. It's just like you said, like I played baseball, so I enjoyed sports. I loved sports, and then I wanted to do something in the video world. And one of our professors told us, like, hey, like, be prepared to not make any money until you're at least 30. And I was like, well, I like what I do, so I could deal with that. So, it's really all about loving what you do and like showing up every day and just trying to make your next project better than your last one. That's really what it's about.
Yeah. What was that feeling like the first time you got paid for something that you actually wanted to do?
It was amazing. Like you don't think about it when you're doing something that you really enjoy and you're doing it for nothing at first. It's amazing to actually have somebody pay you to do it. And like the first real opportunity we got was, Manny, right? Manny just joined.
Yeah. What's up, Manny?
Manny ended up he started getting jobs with Mall Media. He was getting a bunch of jobs with them, and they were looking for a producer. And me and Manny had kind of been doing this stuff for free for a while. And Manny got me in there, and we started doing the Sports Illustrated series. And once that happened, it was amazing. Like you're on the road traveling with like an awesome friend, like one of your best friends. You're making money to travel with one of your best friends and shoot videos in sports. Like there is nothing better than that. Like when you get to the opportunity to do that, like there's nothing like making money with your friends. It's like the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, for sure. What's up, Chaz? What's like a couple of your favorite memories that you shot?
So a couple of favorite memories. We did a piece with Tyler Eifert where we actually, on his off day, we went to a trap shooting range. That was a lot of fun. We did a piece on Noah Syndergaard, which was just fun for me because I'm a huge Mets fan, and actually I put something on my story yesterday. We were interviewing Kevin Plawecki. This wasn't even, we did Steven Matz the following year too, but we were interviewing Kevin Plawecki, and David Wright storms into the interview. He just opens the door up because we were in the media room by ourselves. He shoots the door open and he sees Plawecki sitting in the chair. And he's like, "Oh my God." He's like, "You're the worst." He's like, "You asked me for a ride home and then you're coming to do an interview." He's like, "I'm always waiting for you." And he just leaves. It was like that was like just a great moment because like David Wright is like such a cool guy. We were talking to him a little bit before that. He was signing autographs and he was just talking about autographs and telling us in general that he was telling us never to just scribble your name on a tip at a restaurant, because if it's not legible and the server just puts in like an insane tip, you can't fight it because they can't read your handwriting. That was, just talking to him was cool. That was like some of our cool moments. I think we just did something with Glaber Torres that I actually was able to bring my fiance with me to. She did the behind the photos and I actually did the video, and just we have a relationship with his company, his management company, Octagon, and our buddy JB kind of hooked us up with that, and like it was just cool to hang out with him. He's a star in New York, and it was cool to get to hang out with him, see behind the scenes, like, hey, like these are real people. This is a real person, and he's a nice guy who likes to have fun. And we've had a few. There's been so many that have been awesome. Those are the ones that really stand out to me right now in my head. But all the guys that we've worked with, from another guy who stands out when he was at Clemson, Christian Wilkins, who's on the Dolphins now, just all around like great guy, like funny dude, loved being around people. And Dabo Sweeney, we interviewed there with him. Like just those dudes, being around those guys and seeing their personalities are just things that always are going to stand out to me at the end of the day. Like getting to know them behind the scenes when the camera's off is the best part of the whole thing.
Yeah. The thing about Glaber Torres is I remember, I don't know if it must have been his rookie year, and he was like, I don't want no interpreter. Like he wanted to learn how to speak English basically for himself.
Yeah, and he was talking to us too about it. And Manny just wrote in the comments, Arthur Motes. He's retired now. He actually has a podcast. Arthur Motes was one of, to this day, is the nicest dude that I think we've ever met and been around. And like we pretty much spent like 2 hours with his family and his wife and kids, and they were so nice, so awesome, and they still follow us on social media. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's dope. What was the moment? Because there was a moment for me where like you had to stop being starstruck and like to everyone, they're just like regular people. Like what was the last time you were starstruck, or the time where you're like, all right, Steve, I can't be starstruck no more?
Yeah, that's a great question actually. It was actually my second shoot working with athletes, my second time. My boss at the time, he's like, "You're gonna direct. I'm just gonna stand here." He's like, "If you screw anything up, like I'm gonna do it." And Pierre Garçon showed up, and he gets out of the car, and I'm just sitting there staring at him, and I don't really know what the hell to do. It's my first time directing anything, and he just looks at me. He's like, "Hey man, like what's going on? Like what do we do?" And I was like, go stand over there. We got to do the intro. And after I said that, I was like, I don't really sound like I know what I'm talking about. So I got to snap out of this and just start actually just giving him direction. And that was the moment that I was like, you can't be starstruck by these guys. This guy's here. This guy's here. He knows why he's here. You just got to talk to them like they're people and tell them what to do. It was just like, just snap out of it.
Yeah. That's funny. You mentioned him, but I went down there for a Redskins game, and one of my friends, Rob Jackson, was on the team. And he and Pierre Garcon I was in like the players parking lot, and he was like, and I was like, yeah, I want to get like Pierre Garcon to wear my stuff because like PG, you know, his initials are PG. And then he was like, yeah, he's like, yo, just go up to him. I'm like, you're not gonna like introduce me? He's like, nah, he's cool, just go up to him. So I just went up to him, but like nothing happened. it was just awkward. It was just awkward. But Trent Williams was cool. He came up to me and he was like, yo, we wear your stuff all the time, like blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, that's dope. So I sent him more stuff. I want to get him on my podcast. Actually, I'm still trying to get him, but yeah,
that'd be a good guy to get. It's cool, and it's cool when they start talking to you and you just realize, oh, this is a regular guy. That's it. They're just people that are cool and they just want to have conversations with you. It's awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, my moment of not being trying not to be a fan no more and starstruck was when I met Brandon Phillips at the Mets game, actually. And like, because he didn't even know I was coming to the game. I didn't even know I was going to the game, actually, because I got the tickets the day before. And then like I had a baseball, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna get his autograph. So I think I said Mr. Phillips, you know, and then he turns around and he saw my hat and he's like, I got the same one. And I was like, yeah, I know, I sent it to you. He was like, oh, what's up, man? Blah, blah, blah. So then that was after that, I was like, yeah, I can't be starstruck no more.
No, that's it. Like you're basically working with these guys. Like there's no reason to.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that was like, I think that was 2014 when I just graduated college.
And now look at you.
Yeah.
2020, still rolling with this. 6 years in the making.
Yeah, 2020, not getting starstruck. But I have had moments like where I just interviewed Ronnie Brown recently, and I'm a Dolphins fan, and I forgot to tell him at the end, like I was saving it for the end to tell him, like, yo, I used to rock your jersey like in high school. But so that one was cool because like he was one of my favorite players growing up.
Right. It's cool when you meet. It's cool when you meet like some of your favorite players and you get to know them on like a little bit of a personal level, even if it's for like 5 minutes. It's really cool, and like you feel very fortunate and like lucky that you get to do that.
Yeah, for sure. What about, do you have any like dream projects?
Dream projects. So one of my dream projects is to actually, I want to do sorry, I hope nobody steals this, but I'm kidding. No, I want to do I want to do an ESPN 30 for 30. I would like to do, I'm reading the comments, I'm sorry. But I'll get to that in a minute. I would like to do an ESPN 30 for 30. I kind of want to do a little bit, I want to do a story on Matt Harvey. That's like a dream project of mine.
You should hit him up now.
Yeah, I want to do like a whole documentary about him. Like, because honestly, I was at Game 5 of the World Series, the game where he came out for the 9th, and to this day, that's the best game I've ever seen pitched live. And I want to know everything from before that to, you know, the fall, so to speak. You know, like, but I that's like a dream project. I want to do a 30 for 30 on Matt Harvey. I want to call it just straight up The Dark Knight, and I want to do his entire story. Like, that's my dream project.
That'd be dope. So what's Manny talking about in these comments?
So Manny, we used to when we were traveling together, we used to have nicknames for each other. Captain Gazpacho was me. He was the Twitch. It was based off a boomerang of his head, like kind of like twitching back and forth. And he's basically talking about a tour of us touring America. Me and him. I mean, I would tune into that, but that's me. I think a lot of people would tune in for that. That would just be a behind the scenes of the behind the scenes, basically. Like everything, like we'd be working, doing these little mini documentaries, but it'd be behind the scenes of that, and I think that would be well.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but sometimes I'm like, damn, like I need a third or fourth cameraman to get like you said, like the behind the scenes, because that content like comes out almost better sometimes. Well, just like,
yeah, like
more people watch it, I guess you'd say.
more people watch it because more people, it's relatable to more people.
Yeah.
You get to see, people only see what's in front of the camera, but if you come back and you see what's going on behind the scenes, you see the issues that take place. Like there are issues. You walk into a shoot sometimes and they're like, this is the room you have, and you're like, this is not gonna work, and they're like, well, you're gonna have to make it work, and you're just like, that's not all right, we're gonna have to make it work, let's try to make it look good, we'll light it this way, we'll light it this way, we'll do this, we'll do that, and we'll see, we'll see how it looks. And you just gotta be a problem solver sometimes with that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. What's up, Rashad? What do you like doing better, videography or photography?
Oh, videography
Yeah,
is,
that's what I thought.
yeah, the best. You could tell. I mean, I'm also better at videography, so that's why too. But I just like telling those visual stories more.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's see. We got a question here. How many companies pivot their marketing during this, or how should companies pivot their marketing during this time?
All
right,
so
Steve has a series going on.
I have a series going on right now, correct? Which you could actually find the latest YouTube video in the link in my bio. But right now, the way companies should be looking to pivot is you want to find digital should be number one, first and foremost. Like you look at people's usage. Look at your usage on your phone, like for the last 3 weeks, and how much that usage has gone up. That's the same for everybody everywhere because of quarantine. So a digital marketing strategy is something that everybody should adopt, and they should look for the inexpensive ways to do it. Like, first of all, it's free to post on any platform, regardless of the situation. And if you're going to spend a little bit of money, spend it in Instagram stories. You could get anywhere between like 10 cents and $1 to reach 1,000 people. So 1,000 people will see that, and it costs you $1. So the way you want to do this is have a plan, have a strategy for each platform, and make it all digital. If you could get into somebody's cell phone, you could get into their wallet at the end of the day. And everything, don't waste time on TV because you don't know who that's going to, and it's too expensive. You want to go to the phone and spend as little money as possible to get your product, your brand in front of the most eyes.
Speaking of TV, like the MJ doc I watched last night, that was the first time I watched like regular TV in a long time. And I was like, wow, commercials like suck. Like I was like,
yeah, like nobody. And what do you do? Think about this. What do you do when a commercial comes on? You pick up your phone.
Yeah, pretty much.
You pick up your phone and you look at your phone. So at the end of the day, everything's in the cell phone to begin with. So I don't know why you wouldn't try to market directly to people on their phone.
Substations.
Speaking of the MJ doc, I'm gonna start watching it tonight. That's.
Oh, you didn't watch it? I won't say anything.
I didn't watch it yet.
Even though there's not really spoilers, I don't think.
No, it doesn't. I mean, I just want to see. I want to see like everything I didn't know about MJ. So that's what I'm hoping this gives me.
Yeah, imagine filming something and you just had to wait that long to release it.
Yeah,
I think this was like semi-planned. I'm not really sure about the backstory of it.
Oh, really?
No, I'm saying I think the whole thing was like planned because it said at the beginning of it just said they gave them all like unprecedented access.
Oh yeah, so they knew what was going. They knew what this was going to turn into.
I also heard MJ wanted to release because something with like LeBron and stuff, but it could have just been a rumor. Just because like he wanted more clout right now.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. That whole debate. We won't get into that here.
Yeah, no, that could be hours long.
But I am definitely looking forward to watching that. I can't wait. So
yeah, that definitely got me fired up at I was fired up at midnight, for no reason.
There's always a reason to get fired up. It doesn't matter what time of day. That's it.
Yeah, yes. Going back to the Facebook ads, and Instagram ads. Yeah, I've been doing them for my podcast more than like PG Sports, but
right.
Yeah, just like you can spend $5 and it reaches like 5,000 people. So it's just like why not? Like
right, exactly. Especially right now, like if you're a local business, like you could be, if you're a local restaurant, you could be making so much delivery money on Instagram story ads.
Yeah, I want to kind of see if any of these restaurants are actually making more money now than they were.
Right, because I mean, they're right.
Like maybe not a
Some of
bigger
them,
restaurant, but I think like a smaller restaurant might be.
right, I agree with you. Like I know local restaurants in Hoboken that you can't even after a certain time you can't even place orders because they're so backed up. So right now there's definitely people that some restaurants that are making more money right now just based off delivery and takeout.
Yeah, it's I mean, it's crazy because like then I'm also thinking like, you know, how everyone's saying like support local businesses, but like where were they ordering food before?
Right.
Unless it was just fast food, I guess.
Well, the thing is too that a lot of the restaurants now that are doing takeout and delivery, they're kind of coming off of Yelp or Grubhub because Grubhub takes a percentage of that. So if you're gonna order, you got to order direct from the restaurant so they get everything on their website, something like that.
Yeah. I mean now it's like literally everybody's offering it, so there's ways around it and ways for them to make more money, I guess, or make more money than not going through the third-party apps. So,
absolutely.
What's your take on TikTok?
I love TikTok. I think so. So first of all, I want to like preface this by saying like nobody has TikTok figured out yet except for like Charlie D'Amelio. But I love TikTok because it's not just a dancing app and it's not just like for people. It's not just for people to do dances and things like that. It's not. So what it is that you could have a video go viral on there and you could have like 4 followers. Like you get a ton of reach just by constant plays on there. And you want to set it up. I love it. I think, you know, you need to find the way your videos work the best in there. Like you need to figure out if like these hashtags work and if these types of videos work for you. I think it's a great testing format for it, and I just think you need to be on there if you're gonna grow. Like you have the ability to grow quickly on there. Like your account in the matter of a month can grow by 1,500 to 2,000 followers, even more.
Yeah, it was crazy because I just been posting random stuff and finally I created the pot once again. Nothing on PG Sports really went crazy, but I created the podcast one, and then it was Ben Gordon saying like he hates Duke, and I put that, and then I woke up, and then that one blew up.
Right. It's crazy.
And I didn't really think sound bites were gonna do it, but I guess they will because I had the video too of him like playing basketball with the voice over it. So.
Right, but also like you got to think about. Oh my God, Rashad just asked, what about Chinese hackers? Listen, there's hackers in all of our stuff. Everyone has your information. Don't even worry about it at this point.
What's up, Anthony?
But yeah, I mean, I just think TikTok's great, especially if you're like doing anything under 15 seconds. Like it's incredible. Like the reach you can get, you need to be on there. Everybody should be on there. That's
all right. Are you gonna be dancing on there or not?
I will not be dancing. I might do one though. I might do one. The blinding lights one, I nailed it like 2 weeks ago, but never put it up. I think that's the challenge. If I'm gonna do a dance, that would be it.
What about, have you posted one? Because I did this. So I posted one that had 2 drafts. It was basically the same thing, and then one of them got more views than the other, and it was like the same exact video.
Right. That happens a lot. So I mentioned Charlie D'Amelio before. She's like a 16-year-old kid who has like 4 million followers.
She's from Connecticut too. Yeah, no.
Right. She posts, basically what she does is she posts the same video like 4 times in a row, and one of them hits. And it's the Wild West right now. I just think you need to test stuff, post stuff, and once you get stuff on there, I think you could really tailor it to what you're trying to do, and you could see what does the best. Like I'm working with a jewelry store right now where all I'm doing is TikTok videos for them, and we started with 39 followers a month ago. We're up to like 1,500, and we just had a video in like the 300,000 range that was off. And we had 2 videos on there that had like 50,000 and 70,000 from like 2 weeks ago. So, and they started, like I said, with 39 followers. It's just, if you tailor stuff to be specific and keep doing them, everything's just going to grow and take off on there.
Yeah, and I want to go back to your point where you said it's not just a dancing app, because I have found valuable content on there, like that actually helped me, or like I didn't know about. I found out just like social media tips, or even just like, or like one guy that was just like talking about colleges and like why you shouldn't go now, and I was just like, yes, like even though I already went to college, but like I've been telling people like you don't need to go to college, like it's kind of unless you I mean I'm sure you totally agree with that, but yeah, and Rashad, I seen fitness people on there too, like doing stuff, you know, and then the bang bang bang, like with the steps to how to do it and stuff. It's all about that stuff too, because when you add the text, even though like on these social media platforms usually text is bad in the pictures, but on there text is good.
Right, on there text is like is everything almost. Like you put text in front of your you put text in front of your post or on your post, like those just do better, just because it gives it a little bit of, this is gonna be corny. It gives you a little bit of context on what you're watching.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and even the thumbnails, going back, obviously, you know, thumbnails are important, but on TikTok they are too, because I did it before where it's just like, or I didn't do it and it's just like the beginning, and then I did it and my face is like wide open, like people are clicking it because they're like, what the hell is this kid doing?
Right, exactly. It's like and the thumbnails on TikTok, they like move a little bit. They're like a little bit boomerang. So if you make something like a little bit interesting, people are just more likely to click on that for you. Like that's what you want. It's all about getting the clicks, and you want playthroughs. So like, if this is my advice, I'm giving away for free on TikTok. If you're giving some type of information on TikTok in your video, put it at the very end, like the last 5 frames of the video, because you can't just like scroll through there. People are gonna have to watch it again, and you get bumped by how many times people watch your video. Like you get bumped up in the algorithm.
Yeah, that's the other thing that.
Times.
Yeah, that's the other thing that I hate when I see something interesting like you just said, and I'm trying to like pause it, but you could pause it, but you can't fluctuate where you want to like go back or whatever. So or a hack, if you guys want to be if you don't want to get the views, you could just download the video.
that too, but don't tell them that. No, we want views.
Well, you could put it so they can't download it also.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think. I mean, the other thing too, I think I've been seeing a lot is just like, actually just today, my stories views been going down since quarantine, I'd say, but now today for some reason they went back to like normal, I'd say, and I think maybe it's just because there's so much people posting stuff now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm noticing a lot of that. Like, there's people that I haven't seen any content from in the past year that are just constantly putting stuff out now. So I mean, I just feel like now, like, you got to be just putting up content for people to see, like, no matter what the platform is. Like, I'm even back on Snapchat now.
Yeah, I still actually it's kind of weird because I probably only have like maybe like 200 people on Snapchat, but usually I get the most sales from Snapchat.
Really?
I don't know. Yeah, I think it's, I don't know why. I don't know if people are looking at it more, like actually looking at it, you know what I mean? Instead of like, maybe they're just swiping through on Instagram.
Are you running any ads on there, or is that just like organically?
No, just organically.
Wow.
No, I haven't actually. I haven't run any ads on Snapchat. I was about to one time because they kept on calling me, but I just never did. I did actually do the Snapchat geotag when it first came out.
Okay.
And that was crazy. But I didn't capitalize on it because at the time it was just like regular prices, so you could put it over Yankee Stadium, and it was just like the regular price before they set it to like when you put it over a stadium, it was automatic like $5K. But before that, it was only like $20, so you could have went like crazy. But I wasn't thinking. But and I don't know how many people are using those now. Depends. But yeah, Snapchat I think is somewhat dead to an extent.
I don't think so, because I'm seeing that a lot of people are still on it.
Yeah.
It went down for a while, but the more I'm getting back into using it, the more I'm seeing that there are still people on it and there are still people doing things on there. And I think the layout of the app has changed a bit. And when you're in like the news explore section now, you stay in the app longer because it's just more interesting. And I also think they have an underrated ad product. I'm going to actually start looking into that a little bit more because just like you said, people are starting to pay more attention now on that app, to pay more attention to what's going on. And you don't have to you don't just go through anymore to the next person's story without knowing. Now it kind of stops you and you're like, all right, I'm on this person's story. Do I want to watch it? And you could pick and choose if you want to actually watch those stories now. So I think the new layout has kind of helped them. I don't think they're dead yet. I think they're going to be a player somewhere. I just think they're building back up now, but I don't by no means think they're dead yet.
Yeah. Or I think someone's going to buy them out.
That could happen too. That could happen tomorrow. So we'll see.
What about, I was also going to ask you when I was mentioning like the guy talking about college and stuff, if you were a 2020 graduate in high school, do you think you would be going to college?
No, I would not.
Why not?
I mean, I just like, look, I don't want to, I'm not like, I'm not trashing the college experience in any way. Like I love college. I learned a lot at college and I'm fortunate enough now that I learned a lot at college. I'm fortunate enough now that like, I'm still doing what I went to school for, but I didn't need to go to school. I didn't need to go to school for it. Like I didn't need to go to school for this. Like I could have shadowed somebody that was successful and learned that way. I learned almost everything I learned, even video editing. Like I learned it on the job. Like I learned how to use the program in school, but they don't teach you about storytelling. They don't teach you about things like that. Like you got to learn that stuff on the job. And I just think like to go, I had a lot of loans and I paid off loans like till 2 years ago. I had huge loans at that school. I would not go to a college where I'm taking on all this debt. If I wanted, like I always had the itch to be an entrepreneur and run my own business. I should have just started that right away, worked for somebody that was like an OG in the industry right away, shadowed them, learned things from them, and not went to college because honestly, I could be doing the same thing now. I just would have been I would have been 4 or 5 years ahead of the curve.
Yeah. I tell like people that always ask me now, I always tell them like either if you go to college, if it's like really cheap or you're getting like a big scholarship and you're not going to be in a lot of debt, and or if you know what you really want to do or if you need it too, like obviously like doctors and lawyers, but that's an exception. But in the business world, to me, in the marketing and all communications, like I don't think you really need to necessarily go, like you said. And I'd recommend people just go get internships. I know it's not easy to get internships either, so I know that, but I think that would be a better step than going to college. Because I learned more. Actually, I always say this. I learned more from my graphic designer that I hired to make this logo like while I was in school than when I was in school. Like about branding and all that, and just making everything uniform, make it look good, stuff like that. Like it's pretty crazy because and just like obviously, and I didn't know Photoshop either. I learned that on my own because I was a business undergrad major, so there was definitely no Photoshop in there. But so I just learned that pretty much on my own. Right.
But also, someone just made a good point on here, Sean Moffitt, about relationships. About relationships. If you think about it, our relationship is because we both went to Sacred Heart. So it's like, and like Rashad was on here earlier. So it's like the good thing is that we have built a relationship and we built relationships with other people that are like-minded that we kind of have snowballed this and have been doing these things. Those are that's the best part about it was the relationships that I took from.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, exactly what you said. Because my connections from Sacred Heart are just crazy. But I actually talked in front of a sports law class last week at Sacred Heart on Zoom, and then he asked me how did Sacred Heart prepare, and like my instant thought was it didn't, but I didn't want to say that to like be an asshole, So I was just like, well. I feel like I learned more like outside the classroom, and I was just like in the connections I built like from Sacred Heart. Like, because
I
like
agree with
in
that.
my head, I could give them credit, but I can't like give them like all. I can't give them that much.
Right. I can't give them like all credit. I could give some of
Yeah.
it. But
Yeah.
like I mean, it depends. I also think it depends what you're going for. Like if you want to be an entrepreneur, like I don't recommend it as much, but don't go somewhere where you're going to take on a ton of debt. Like if you want to go to
Yeah.
college, I think it's great, but if you're taking on a ton of debt, just you don't want to do that, because when you're done, you want to be able to start from zero instead of having to pay it from behind, basically.
Yeah, and I don't know if people think it's like easy to get a job, because it's definitely not, in my opinion.
Right. I agree with that.
Because and I think that's the other. I don't know what the word is, but the thing is that everyone says like go to college and you get the good job, but that doesn't happen. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't happen.
Grades
It doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah.
It doesn't happen all the time. Like like you could build your way up to getting. You could build your way up to getting internships and making connections. But at the end of the day, everything's about connections and relationship. So whether you get that at college, whether you get that from shadowing somebody, so like I mean, that's it. I mean, they don't teach you, even in college though, they don't teach you like the simple life skills that everybody needs on a day-to-day basis. At no point in high school or college did I learn about taxes. Maybe because I'm not I'm a business major, so
no, they didn't really teach you about taxes. Unless you go into accounting major, then you learn about that. So, but even I didn't learn about that. I mean, I had accounting like at managerial and financial, so maybe like a little, but not really. They didn't show us how to file taxes, that's for sure.
Right.
So, and that's the most important thing in our regular life. So, from that standpoint, yeah. And I don't remember them talking about LLCs and any of that. Like, I just learned how to do that stuff a couple of years ago myself. It's by the internet.
Right.
Who thinks that journalism professor said don't?
Don't get into this for money.
Right. Oh yeah.
You don't get into this for money. You don't. You get into this because you love what you're doing, and like again, like we spoke about this earlier, like way earlier when we first got on here, like just freedom to like live life on your terms is why like you got into this.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I quit my job last last July, and I was already working from home full time because my hours got cut. So then, but then like after that, then it was like dope because now I'm like literally just setting my own hours.
Right. And I mean, you work more, but it doesn't feel like you're working more.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like I'm working more now during the quarantine, which is weird, but like not on like clients, more on my personal stuff. So I mean that's cool too. But like then I'm just like, all right, like I just did all this, and then I'm not really getting paid off of it, sort of. But yeah.
Well, you could. I feel like during the quarantine, like I've been able to schedule things more.
Yeah.
Like I've been able to block time out. Like you want to, like I said, like I want to take care of my clients first, and then worry about my stuff. But the fact that there's not a lot of other things I could really do. I have time to build out other stuff. Like I built out those YouTube videos that I'm putting up. So.
What about you think these commercials that they have on right now, you think they were already like old stuff that they're just making it into like voiceovers, or you think like they're filming new stuff?
Are you talking about like on TV right now?
Yeah, because like that. The only reason why I'm asking that because I saw the commercials last night on the MJ doc.
Oh, I mean,
because I was like, how did they do? Like some of them were voiceovers, so I was like, all right, maybe they just had this content already and then they just chopped it up and put the voiceover over it.
There's also there could be like stock footage that they have rights to because they're company that they're just putting voiceovers underneath. That's honestly probably what's happening. I don't know. I mean, there are some people that are still out doing shoots, but it's a lot of it is news related. A lot of it's news related and topical to right now, but there are places you could get stock footage for commercials and things like that, and you just get the voiceover recorded. So that's probably what they're doing. I mean, but you never know. There could be people out there shooting with masks on and stuff. I mean, as long as you keep your distance, you should be okay.
Yeah, for sure. During this, I think you broke up for a second.
We broke up for a second there.
Yes, I was saying, have you done any shooting during the corona or no?
I did one shoot before everything got like fully locked down. I did one shoot, but other than that, I haven't done anything from home. Just editing and working on marketing. It's really
Oh yeah, the other question I forgot to ask the last person I had on about like what kind of equipment do you use? Like how many hard drives do you have? What kind of hard drives you got?
I have a ton of hard drives. I have a lot of hard drives. I probably like 30, 40 hard drives. I have a lot of these. Western Digital. This is a 2 terabyte guy. This is good for going on the road with and traveling with. But always have 2 of these because you got to double back up your footage everywhere. And then I have a larger one. This is an 8 terabyte drive. I only have 2 of these though that I put like double backup on. I have one of these guys. This one is also a Western Digital. I think media management is one of the biggest things that people forget about, and I think now it's getting easier with like, yes, you could put stuff on Google Drive and Dropbox and things like that, but I'd rather have a physical hard drive with me at all times as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I gotta actually I've been meaning to back up my computer just because I haven't done it in a while.
Yeah, you got to back everything up. I mean, it's good to have like the cloud, like it's good to have iCloud and Dropbox and Google Drive and everything, but like having the physical stuff also is I need that.
Yeah, because I remember when I got my second computer, and I think this was before like iCloud was advanced, and I had the backup thing, and I just plugged it in, and everything was back to normal.
Yeah.
So it was dope.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for me?
I do have some questions for you. So what's next? What's next for PG Sports?
Steve came prepared.
Yeah, like what's next for PG Sports? Like where are we going? Like you've grown a very nice following. Like where are you going next from here?
Well, my whole goal originally, I want to be a baseball agent, but I still want to be an agent. I think I'm going to try to be in the basketball world.
Why?
Well, I want to get into the NBA. I think,
Okay.
well, and because obviously there is minor leagues now, but if you're going into baseball, you never really know. And basketball, it's not guaranteed either, but you kind of know if they're going to the league.
Yeah, you get close with that.
I mean, yeah, it's pretty. I mean, you could get even if you got a first round pick, what if they never make it? I mean, you'd make money off their signing bonus and stuff, but then, yeah.
And then what about the clothing line?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is there like a build for that? New designs, things like that. What do you got going on?
Yeah, so the white Rich Paul. Yo, it was funny because I was saying like Rich. I was like, yo, I'm trying to be rich, and then I was like, yeah, Rich Paul, and then I was like, nah, that's a guy's name. But oh yeah, so well, the other thing right now before the agency or before I do the basketball agency part, I'm doing like sports marketing now for athletes, like to help them build their brands. And then, yeah, the clothing, like I love doing the clothing, but obviously it's just hard to sell and stuff like that. I still going to drop stuff just because I like to do it. And now that I do like on-demand shipping and stuff, it doesn't like cost me any money up front. So I don't really buy inventory anymore. Besides, usually I just buy hats because one, I love hats. So, and anyone could buy them because they're one size fits all. I think t-shirts are pretty hard. Every time I ordered them, I wrote down all the sizes, and then I'd get those same sizes, and then it'd be totally different the next time. So it's crazy. I don't know if did you ever get t-shirts for your company?
I haven't made any t-shirts or anything. Cutting costs right now. Maybe at some point I want to do hoodies. But
all right.
We'll see. Also, are you thinking about getting into anything with like 2021? It's college athletes can start getting paid. So you think about getting into anything with like high school, going into college?
Well, the other thing is now with these basketball players, like the dude just went straight to the G League. And then another kid today, Kyrie Walker, just announced like he's not going to college or the G League, and he's just working out for the next year.
Okay.
So that's pretty interesting. I think more of that's going to happen, which is good, I think, but actually there's the thing, Jason Tatum said something the other day they said, so you want to go to the G League for $500,000? And then he was like, nah, I still went to Duke. They were like, so Duke paid you more?
Probably.
So that's crazy. I mean, that's crazy. Like, but yeah. Wait, what was the question again?
Are you like gonna try to get in like?
Oh yeah.
Get into anything with like the high school?
I think it's not starting until 2023.
Okay.
Officially, and I think right now it's only starting in California, which I still don't understand the rules. So my question, it would be like, so say an athlete from New York goes to a UCLA, so they could do a deal in California but can't do it in New York.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of questions that still need to be asked because like I'm trying to figure out a way to kind of like, you know, get in that route with but there's so much unknown right now that you can't really put down a plan because there's a lot of unknown with it. Like things aren't black and white. Like there's a lot of gray area with this stuff.
Yeah. So the other thing is too, like all these brands, or they're not brands, they're media companies, I guess you call them, like Overtime and Slam.
Mm-hmm.
And they're sending gear to athletes, NCAA athletes, and they're rocking it and they're posting it. So I'm like, I'm about to do the same thing.
Well, I mean, you can.
Apparently.
I think that's the thing. I think you can do that. So I don't think.
But I don't think you could. I don't think you're supposed to. At least I don't know.
You're probably not supposed to, but there's definitely a loophole. There's definitely a loophole there. So
that's why I'm like, all right, they're getting them to wear their stuff just when they're whatever. And I was like, all right, so I already got a little pipeline at IMG Academy right now, so that'll be interesting.
Very nice.
But yeah, I'm trying to get more into the basketball world, see what happens. I know it's obviously everything's sketchy, so we'll see.
All right. Yeah, that's about all I got for you there.
Dude, those are good.
Cool.
You were ready. Steve was ready today. Steve was more ready than any other guest. That's all I know.
I always come ready.
You didn't flinch at any questions. You didn't give me. Let me think about it. You were ready.
You gotta be prepared. That's it. I'm always prepared. As long as you're prepared, you'll be fine.
Well, if anyone else has questions, we got like 5 minutes. I asked everything I had to ask.
Cool. Yeah. If there's any other questions on here.
Actually, I wanted to ask you about. I know you've been doing. You've been filming podcasts too. So what is that? How new is that? And do you think it's going to grow? Like more people are going to hit you up about just podcasting?
Well, I think it should grow because I think if you could have a podcast that is also visual, like I think if you could have a podcast that's also visual, you should. And it's one of those things where, you know, you don't even need the person to be there filming every single week. What you really need is somebody that's going to be able to come in and set up a studio for you and have it almost on autopilot where you can have an assistant or somebody just press record and offload the footage. Like I think that's going to grow because I think having a podcast that you could put on YouTube, like it's just another stream of revenue if you grow it the right way. So I think it's something that's going to grow and should grow.
Yeah, I think that could be something for you to run like an ad and saying you'll like edit their videos for the podcast, make the little.
Yeah, I think it's something I'm starting to get into more now, and I appreciate that question too.
Yeah.
It's something I'm definitely starting to get into more now, and I think is something that's going to grow as you know, podcasting's huge already, but I think that's going to be another element to it.
Yeah, I think it's pretty funny that it's kind of like backwards too. Like podcasting from like TV, it's like going back, like it's crazy.
Right.
But what do they say? They say everything comes back in style, right?
All the time, man. You know it.
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on, and check out Lark Media. I don't even know which page you're on right now. I think you're
on my personal. My personal page.
It's just Lark Media NYC, right?
Yep, at Lark Media NYC. Lark Media.
Or you gotta get Twitter too.
I'm on Steve Armato on Twitter.
Gotcha.
But yeah, you can find me all those places. Definitely, if you want more marketing advice and tips, definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel because that's what that channel is going to be about for the foreseeable future.
Gotcha. I'm about to subscribe now.
Awesome.
All right. Have a good one.
Thanks, Paul. I appreciate it, man.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. Have a good one.